Good morning. Um, my name's Charles from CP Web Designs. I just want to follow up on the last video that I did. Um, so, in the last video, we installed WordPress and WordPress multi-site on two of the XAMPP virtual hosts that we had created. And I just wanted to cover one of the caveats from the latest iteration of XAMPP install. So, here's our WordPress admin. I'm inside of the widget developer.local. And if you go over to check your site health, it's going to give you a notice about one or more required modules missing. That's referring to PHP extensions. And in this case, required module is GD, which is the graphics library. And that basically does all the magic behind the scenes with image, thumbnail generation, etc. Two of the other modules, the EXIF, which basically reads that data, the the EXIF metadata from any of the media that you upload, and the INTL or internationalization module, which is used by, I think they started integrating this directly at PHP, or excuse me, WordPress 6. So it's got built-in functionality, like when you're on the login screen, you can choose a language. So the way to resolve that is you need to locate your active PHP INI file, which using XAMPP, it's in the XAMPP PHP directory. And when you're in said file, you're going to scroll down to the extensions section. The header is dynamic extensions. So in here, you'll notice that the GD extension is commented out, which is what the semicolon means. So I'm going to remove the semicolon from the GD, the INTL. Since I'm on dev, if you need the EXIF metadata, then uncomment that module. If you don't need to use it, then you don't need to uncomment it. And then they've got some other extensions available to you, such as the SOAP module, which is used for WSDL. The zip module, which actually I think that when I first found this error, the zip module was also commented. And then the Zend opcache extension, which actually helps performance. So even if you're doing development, you can enable the opcache. What that basically does is it pre-compiles the PHP files themselves, so it serves them a little bit faster. The downfall to that is when you make changes, those changes don't always get incorporated as quickly as you think they would. So, the opcache extension, it's not really required for dev, but it can help you speed up performance of your dev server if you're having issues with that. So once you finish uncommenting the extensions you want to enable, you save the file, and then, of course, since we're on a Windows machine, I'll caveat this. If you're using PHP with the fast CGI modules, you should not need to have to restart the Apache service. But if you're using the built-in PHP module, then you do need to restart the service so that it'll reload the php.ini. So on that note, restarting my service, and I'm going to come back to my dashboard, go back to site health again, and that should have cleared it up. It did. So now it's only complaining about the Imagic, which is another third-party image extension for PHP that lets you do a lot of other stuff. So this other notice that's in here about page cache is not detected. On a dev server, you shouldn't really need to worry about this at all. This is just basically a notification saying that, your server responded, in this case, in 573 milliseconds. This is less than the recommended 600 millisecond threshold. So the server is performing okay. That's why it's got the check mark. And then it's just telling you that there's no client caching headers and there's no page cache plugin detected. But again, development server, page caching, not really a requirement here. But if you were on a production server and it told you that your response time was like 700, 800, or more than 1,000 milliseconds, which is 1 second or more, then you do need to pay attention to this. So I just wanted to clear that up because that was one of those pieces that as I was prepping for the video that I'm almost done generating, I found this issue come up and I'd forgotten that Champ had stopped auto-enabling all of the extensions. So, all right. So I hope you guys found that helpful. And I hope you come back and check out my follow-on video. The one that I'm working on now is regarding optimizing your WP config for multiple environments. So whether it's a production, a staging, a development, or a local server, I'm going to cover some custom settings that you can set in there. And some of those will actually negate the requirement for additional third-party plugins. So I hope you come back and check us out there. And in the meantime, happy development.